my stilettos.
Welcome to the Stiletto Room, the unfiltered chat show where no topic is off limits. I'm Dina LaPolt, entertainment attorney, advocate, and tenacious trailblazer. Each week, I sit down with creative visionaries, iconic disruptors, and unapologetic originals to dive deep into work, life, love, LGBTQ plus journeys, social justice, and everything in between. So grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's get real. Because, baby, this is the Stiletto Room. Hi, welcome to the Stiletto Room. I am Dina LaPolt. I have some very special guests today. You know, we talk about tenacious trailblazers and unapologetic originals. And this is for sure Shane Stevens and Bonnie McKee. Welcome.
Thank you.
She's definitely the trailblazer of it, too. Come
No,
on.
I don't think so.
I just wear blazers.
Well, that one I need to borrow.
Thank you. You can. I'll
Yeah.
probably never wear it again because now we're on camera.
Well, that's right.
I think I'm Oprah or something.
I have a continuity book too because we have to do that, right? Okay, so you two are legends. I mean, for sure. Songwriting legends, for sure. You're also artists. I want to get into your trajectory and how you got into the business and where you are now and what inspires you. But first, I want to say that when I first met the two of you, because we got to talk about this, Shane, of course, you're on the board of Songwriters of North America.
Yes.
It is our 10-year anniversary
Very
this
proud
year.
to be. Whoop, whoop. Come on.
And Bonnie, you were asked to be the MC, the host of one of the award shows. And Shane, you were the co-host, and that's how the two of you met.
Yep, it is how we met.
Yeah,
And it's love at first sight, love at first listen.
it really was.
Yeah.
We met at Jones on 3rd in the Valley, and it was just like immediately I was like, these are my people.
Spirit brother.
Yeah, I
Brother,
can't believe
sister.
you have not met until that
All
time.
these years.
I know, it's wild.
Like just kind of crossing paths and having a lot of friends that have worked with each other. And everybody's
Right.
like, how do you not know Bonnie McKee? You two are cut from the same cloth.
I
So-
mean,
and then we got together, and that was it. And
Yeah.
now we'll probably host, the Sona Warrior Awards until we're using walkers.
that's
right.
and then Saturday Night Live
That's
in
right.
between. the
And
song
Saturday Night
awards.
Live. And apparently we did such a great job last time. Everybody was hashtagging Shane and Bonnie to host the Grammys. So
what do you
I'm
know?
totally down for that.
That would be fabulous.
Let's host and win. Let's pull a Lionel Richie.
I'm here
Yeah.
for it.
Right?
No, I got to tell you, it really is amazing that when you guys host the show, it just takes it to a whole new level. Very professional, funny as
you.
hell.
Thank
Thank you.
You
And
know?
we always do costume changes.
Yep.
Love the costume changes.
The first year that we did it was like right before Halloween,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so we went.
Came out in her bubbles.
Oh,
I
I
came
was
out in my
there.
bubble bath outfit. It
Yeah.
was the whole thing.
I looked like I was a member of the cast of the Birdcage.
It was
Doing
awesome.
my best Robin Williams.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I think we kind of want to do like a little Sonny and Cher sort of moment, you know?
Really?
Yeah, which I
Wait.
always wanted to do.
Totally.
I really would
I
love to have a
love
variety
that.
show someday.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Wow.
yay, this is like my first time getting to
Wow.
host something.
Okay,
With
now
probably
this
a little
is
bit
in my
of Donnie
brain.
and Marie, both people being able to sing and put on the show.
Oh my God, so funny. So you guys, that's so funny that you guys met recently, which is crazy to me. But you both have such amazing careers, and which is great because in this business, like the songwriter is the most marginalized person in the business.
Absolutely.
We really are at the bottom
Yeah.
of the totem pole.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So who did you both decide you're going to songwrite from the beginning? Like, what did you want to do when you grew up?
You go first.
No, songwriting was my plan B. I started out as an artist. I got a record deal when I was 16, 17, moved down to LA by myself, and I loved to write songs, but I just wanted to be an artist. And so when I fell on my face and got dropped after my first deal, which is a rite of passage, by the way. Everyone gets a record deal and gets dropped. That's just part of it.
And
you
you know
don't,
you're
then-
going to be successful when that happens.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, congratulations, you've made it. So I started writing songs just kind of out of necessity. And I was like
Wow.
singing demos for money. And then I was like, I feel like I could run a better song than this demo that I'm singing, you know?
Wow.
And I started dating a producer who was signing a publishing deal. And I had never even heard of that. I didn't know. I was like, what's a
Wait, you
publishing
can
deal?
get paid to write songs?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Wow.
Well, kind of.
Yeah.
A little bit.
When we started.
Wow.
So I started writing songs, and then I really just kind of got lucky. I was just in the right place at the right time, I think.
Wow. That's amazing.
Thank you.
And same for me. I wanted to be a singer before I wanted to be a songwriter. I was telling this story today to a friend of mine who asked me, how did you actually start? And I said, well, my 4th grade teacher played me George Michael One More Try in the front of her Cadillac when that was not going to be an illegal thing to do.
Wow.
But I had a friend in school in the 4th grade. Her name was Carmen, and she was our first mixed race girl that came to our school. So I was the little gay kid, effeminate kid that was starting to get bullied because when I was in grade school, like middle school went to 8th grade, so 4th grade to 8th grade. So you can only imagine the kind of personalities and people, and I was raised in the Deep South, so an effeminate kid, I was starting to get the bullying then.
Yeah.
And my teacher, Miss Milligan, knew that was happening, and so she kept me near her and kept Carmen near her because she was being bullied for being half white, half black girl, and having freckles and wiry hair. And I was the little gay kid, and she planned this field trip to her house because they had a soybean farm, and it turned out to be a pool party for our little class.
Yeah.
And all the other kids went on the blue activity bus, and I went in the car in this Cadillac sedan DeVille, white with blue leather seats. And I sat in the front seat, and Carmen sat in the back seat, and all the other kids were on the other bus, or on the bus, and she put in the tape for One More Try by George Michael, and she grabbed me by my cheeks and looked me in my eyes and said, I was like, what is this? Because I wasn't really allowed to listen to that kind of music when I was a kid. It was worship music or country music or beach music. And so I heard this song, and I heard him singing, and I lit up like a light bulb. And she goes, I was like, what is this? She goes, this is George Michael. I was like, oh my God. He says teacher, and you're a teacher, in this song. And she goes, one of these days you're going to sing and write songs, and you're going to be just like him. And I want you to know it's okay to be just like him.
How old were you?
I was 10 years old.
That's beautiful.
And she said, and you're going to get out of here with your music. And I was like, okay. And then 2 years later, that's when I knew I really wanted to sing. I started singing choir when I was in the 2nd grade, in the 3rd grade choir, and I got all that attention.
You did too?
Singing I'll Be Home for Christmas. That was my first solo. And I loved that attention. And it turned around and bit me in the ass because the kids were jealous. And, I was the gay kid who could sing, and so I was incredibly bullied.
Wow.
But I was, in 1990, I journal every single day. And so I started in my journal one morning when I woke up, and it said, and I wrote down 1990, and I'm like, God, what is this? And he goes, this was the year, and this was the day that you asked me for your gift. It was the day that I heard Mariah Carey, Vision of Love, on the radio, and Casey Kasem announced her on the countdown for the first time.
Wow.
And I begged my aunt, Sherry, my dad's little sister, my favorite aunt, God rest her soul. She drove me to the Briarcliff Mall in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I asked the man for the tape, and it was $9.99. It was a yellow label with red $9.99, and I was like, how am I going to pay for this? It's so much money.
Wow.
And my aunt came in puffing her cigarette, pulled out a 20 out of her cigarette pouch, her little beaded cigarette pouch. She said, did you find it yet? And I was like, I did, but it's $9.99. She goes, I got it. So she gives me the tape. He gives me the tape. I run to the car, not going to wait for her to finish her cigarette in the mall. And I get in the car, and I open up the tape jacket, and it says words and lyrics. I mean, lyric melody, Mariah Carey, Mariah Carey, Mariah Carey. I was like, she writes all of her own songs?
Wow.
I didn't realize that. And there were 4-syllable words like inevitably and things, and I didn't know what those words meant. So I'd run upstairs in my aunt's house and say, what does this word mean? And then I'd run back downstairs and threaten their lives. Like, don't come down here and bother me listening to Mariah Carey. And by the time I got to Vanishing on the album, I had asked God, I said, God, I have music in me. Will you give me words?
Wow.
And so in my journal, God reminded me that that's the day
crazy.
I asked to be a songwriter.
Wow.
I always knew I was a singer, but I didn't know I was a songwriter.
Wow.
And so then that became my dream. And before, religion and things got after me, I really believed there wasn't anything I couldn't be, do, or have. And so I would imagine myself in my New York City apartment on the Upper East Side in a little studio writing my songs, and then that happened.
Wow.
But I was young and naive enough to ask for it, believe that it was happening, and then it did.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's how.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Bonnie, how did this start for you?
Well,
After the record label thing.
right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Which was looking back now, it was like a major
Blessing.
great
Yes,
thing to happen.
it's definitely a blessing. I'm really grateful. I'm grateful that I fell on my face because I feel like I was young and I was cocky. And I remember when I moved to LA and like driving down Sunset Boulevard right out here and being like, all of my problems are over, because I had like a crazy life before I even ever signed a record deal. And so when I lost the record deal, I thought that my life was over. You know, like I thought I
They
had like
figured me out. I'm not talented.
yeah. And back
Wow.
then it was very different, where it was like if you didn't have a record deal, then no one was
make
going to
it.
hear your music.
What year was this?
2000. I got dropped in 2006,
Wow.
maybe. And there wasn't social media. There was like MySpace had
That's
kind of
right.
just started.
That all changed in 2012.
And everything was American Idol.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, you had to have a record deal in order for anyone to hear your music.
That's
so
right.
I really thought I was sunk. So
Wow.
I got into songwriting because it was supposed to be sort of a stepping stone to get me back to being an artist. And it was, but it was like I had such crazy, not beginner's luck, because I wrote and was struggling for many years before I ever had a hit. But once I had a hit, I had another hit, and I had another hit, and it was just like a crazy run where it's like
This is working.
yeah, and like the universe kept giving me opportunities that I couldn't say
Yeah.
no to, and so I kind of just had to follow the breadcrumbs that that my
Was that
higher
your-
power was dropping for me, and be like, okay, I'm just gonna trust that this is the right thing for me to do.
Yeah. Was your first hit with Katy Perry?
Yeah, my first hit was California Girls.
Yeah. Oh God, what a great
Can you
song.
imagine?
Thank you.
I just
That's
can imagine
amazing.
that calling card. So my first hit was
That's
California
amazing.
Girls.
So how did you get into that world? Like,
I was totally random. After I had gotten dropped, or maybe it was right before I got dropped, I was running out of my label money, and I went to a little thrift store on Melrose called Wasteland.
Oh, we love
And
Wasteland.
I lived like
Wasteland.
2 blocks away from it, and so
Wow.
I would go in every day.
Yeah.
And I was selling my clothes because I was running out of money.
Wow.
And I met a girl named Catherine, and she was also there selling her clothes. And she approached me and was like, "You're Bonnie McKee, right?" And I was like,
Boo.
no one had ever recognized me in public before. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, I'm an artist too. Like, I really like your stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And she was like quoting my songs. I was like, what the hell?
Wow.
And I also didn't have any friends, any peers that were
Right.
my age in the industry.
Wow.
Like everyone, I was just had like lawyers and managers that were all just like old dudes, you know? And so I was so excited to meet someone my age that was also really ambitious. And I checked out her music on MySpace and was
Wow.
like, damn,
Come
this,
on,
I
MySpace.
was like-
Everybody
Come on.
has one friend.
yeah.
And I was like, damn, this is really cool. Like, we were really similar. And so we were friends first. And then and then she asked me to come in and write on the second album. So
I mean, holy shit.
yeah.
Because that was some great songs. You did Roar as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you did Thank God It's Friday Night. You did that one.
Last Friday night.
Yeah, Last Friday Night. It's a great
Teenage
song.
Dream.
Yeah.
Which is like hands down one of my favorite pop songs of
Oh,
all time.
thank you.
It's the best post of any song ever.
Thank
So
you.
Shane, you've also had your share of hits.
I have.
And it's interesting because you write, I mean, country hits, and then you also have these pop hits.
Yeah.
Fifth Harmony was one of my clients.
Oh my gosh, that was. Oh my gosh, I just actually recorded that Fifth Harmony song.
You
Oh,
did?
I just decided to start recording songs that I've written for other people.
Good for you.
Because in Nashville, you know, we do songwriters rounds.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I sing hit songs.
Yeah.
And then after the show, all these people that come up to you in Nashville that are fans of those songs are like, well, where's your version?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yes.
I don't have a version. Because those types of songs, like when you're writing pop songs, usually if it's for another artist, like I wrote that song with Love Me or Leave Me with Julia Michaels and Matt
Great
Rad.
song. Great song.
Thank you. And so Julia sang the demo. I didn't sing the demo. And then it just went straight to Fifth Harmony because we were in a Fifth Harmony writing camp.
Wow.
And so they recorded that song. And I remember we had sushi that day and then got the email with the song in it. And we're like, oh my God, 4 girls singing their faces off is like a competition.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this is an actual competition,
Yeah.
this song.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just recorded it. It's really hard to sing.
Yeah.
Really hard to sing, but just doing my own little acoustic versions of my songs that I've written
That's
for other people.
amazing.
I love
Because why
that.
not?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe
Totally.
it'll help with the algorithm.
What have you
Absolutely.
recorded then, besides that one?
I recorded American Honey, which was my first #1 for Lady A. I recorded Fancy Like, a version for me as well. She's
Smash.
like, "Ooh-wee."
Smash.
I recorded my Selena Gomez song, Nobody. I recorded Beat Up Bible, which I wrote for Little Big Town. And I recorded Do You Think About Me? That was on Carey Underwood's album, Blown Away.
That's great.
Yeah. And it's funny because I always find it really cute because Carrie Underwood's singing about my first love. As a gay man. It's like, did you know you're singing about a boy
That is very cute.
who's in love with another boy?
That's very cute.
That song I actually wrote. We do the Songwriters Festival in Key West a lot, and I'm actually, when I leave here, I'm going there to Key West to do the Songwriters
Take me
Festival.
with you. I want to come.
Wow.
And I wrote that song there. Do You Think About Me there? It was actually the day of the Nashville flood
Wow.
that we wrote it, and we were watching it on our home cameras. Like, what is happening in Nashville? There's full-on blood. So we all decided to get drunk because I still drank then, and I was drinking vodka sodas. We may have taken an edible, and I was laying by the pool, and the wind chimes were swinging, and I started singing this little melody, this I, not even trying. And my best friend Hillary Lindsay, who's like the biggest female songwriter of all time, was like, "What are you singing?" I'm like, "Oh, it's the wind chimes, man. It's the wind chimes." And we wrote "Do You Think About Me?" And then Carey Underwood ended up recording it. But I've always loved that song, and I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Yeah. I love that.
People know them, so cover your own songs.
Yeah, and now it's so great because you two are both now back to your first passion of recording and performing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, this is awesome.
Thank you.
Like, you guys had never met before except for a couple years ago at the Sona Warrior Awards, and now you're doing the same thing, basically.
Well, I will say that Bonnie is a supporter of all artists and songwriters and friends. Like, I don't know what I'm doing on social media. All I know is to be authentically who I am. I don't know about editing and all those things. And
she's great.
She literally sends me a video tutorial. This is how you use Insight.
Great.
Or is it Insight or is that what it's called?
InShot.
InShot.
Yeah.
She's like, this is how you use that, and it's helped me tremendously.
I
She even
mean,
edited a video
I
for
did.
me.
Did you really?
I did,
She's
yeah,
like, honey, do this.
Well, I think you're a star, and I think you have such a fascinating story. I think you have so much to offer, and you're such an inspiration to so many.
Yes.
And so, and I don't know, I'm making content all the time, and so I can just do it in my sleep, and I'm just like, just let me give this to you.
Yeah.
Just let me,
And it was great. It really helped me figure this out. You know?
I'm noticing this,
It's
Shane.
still very strange to hold your phone in front of your face, talk to yourself while you're trying to talk to other people. And so if I overthink it, I won't do it. If I overthink how I look, I just have to be, if I think about something sitting in a hotel room, then I'll just put it up, you know.
That's great.
But I have learned that they need to be shorter, you know, and grab people from the get, and I've learned that from this one, honestly.
Your social media
She's
is
the
next
best.
level.
You've seen when she spins the wheel and talks about the demos and stuff?
I know. Did you take lessons? Like, how'd you do this?
I don't know. You know, I feel like I've always just sort of been a host. I don't know. I feel like I'm maybe destined to have a talk show someday or something. I like to talk. I'm comfortable speaking on camera.
Yeah.
I like to tell stories. I'm a storyteller. I don't know. I like to. I don't know. It's just easy for me. It just comes naturally.
That's great.
But I was doing my own socials for a really long time, and I finally hired a team to help me because I was just like not sleeping.
It
takes
gets
so
to be
much
too
time.
much.
Yeah, because
You can't look like this and not sleep.
Well, I still don't really sleep, but yeah, because when you're writing, recording, I direct my own music videos.
Oh, you do?
And I edit my own music videos too, which
You
is like,
do?
yeah.
She was just nominated Tribeca film.
Yeah, well,
I saw that
my
on
music
social
video made it
media.
into Tribeca. I cannot believe it. I'm absolutely
can.
shook. I'm like,
And that's a video you directed and you edited.
yes.
And you wrote the treatment?
Yeah,
Obviously.
yeah. I co-directed with my friend David
That's
sorry,
crazy.
David Richardson. And because it's really hard to be on camera and behind the camera at the same time. So David Richardson is someone that I trust fully, where I know that like he gets the vision and I can trust his eyeballs, you know?
Get your angles.
When did you decide to start recording again and making the album? Like, when did this happen?
You know, so after my whole crazy run of songwriting, I was like, okay, I'm ready to get back into being an artist. I put out American Girl, which did pretty well, and then I wanted out of my label deal. I was signed to Epic. I was really not happy there. I had already had this terrible experience at a major label, and so I was like, please let me out. I didn't get dropped that time. I begged to be let go, and luckily I was with Troy Carter, who was managing me, and he got me out of my deal, and I'm so grateful for that. But I left. I put out the Bombastic EP, and it was my first independent release, and I got so many syncs from the song Bombastic, and I remember they were like, oh yeah, so it's gonna be like $50,000 for the song to be in this trailer, and I was like, oh great, and they're like per side, and I was like, side?
What does that mean?
So wait, did you get your sound recordings back?
not for that
Okay,
album.
got it,
So
got
I just recorded a new album
good.
or an EP called
Yeah.
Bombastic, which I just got another big sync on,
Wild.
which is
amazing.
10 years old, and I
Who's
just got
pitching the syncs?
my publishers.
That's
My
amazing.
publishers, yeah.
Can we
So
also talk about the comedian actress who auditioned for Saturday Night Live
Yeah,
singing your song?
I know.
What?
It was in the SNL 50 documentary.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
She used American Girl for like one of her jokes or something,
Yeah.
or they put it in
Uh-huh.
to the show when they edited it. But yeah. So I put out the independent thing.
That's
that was
great.
cool. And then I don't know. I kind of like had a little existential crisis because pop music shifted. Everyone was tired of it was like oversaturated with like the sparkly pop stuff, and everyone was doing bedroom pop, and like Drake blew up, and I was just like, this is not my wheelhouse. And then I had a long time where I was like, is it over?
Is it over?
Am I never gonna write a hit again? Like, was that it? And so
everything was like a pre-chorus instead of a chorus. Everything.
Yeah, it never
It
arrived.
never took off.
It never
Wow.
It's
arrived.
like, wait, is are they going to go? Nope, they're not going there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I
So
will say a lot of that's because we know, there's some singers who are more personalities than they are singers.
for sure.
They have a great tone, but they can't carry off those big belting power ballads. We grew
And
up on Mariah and Celine and Whitney.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a vibe. Like bedroom pop
Yeah.
is a vibe,
Totally.
and when Lorde came out and stole my Grammy, it's fine.
Fine.
When Lorde, I genuinely was a fan, and I love Lorde, and that genre absolutely has a place. I just didn't fit into it,
Right.
and so I kind of took a break for a second. Was like, maybe this is it. I also got tired of not getting paid for
Yeah.
showing up.
Oh my
I was like,
God.
am I going to work on spec for the rest of my life?
Right.
Yeah.
And being an artist, I get paid to show at places. I get
That's
paid to play
right.
shows. I get paid to sell merch. I get
Yep.
paid to, and so I got back into the artist thing. So this album that I had done at Epic that was being held hostage, during the pandemic, I got on TikTok, and everyone in the comments was like, we want Hot City, we want Forever 21. I'm like, how do they know these songs? And I found a forum that was like 500 pages long, and they were talking about this unreleased album. And I was like, well, I love it too. And guess what? Recession pop is back, baby.
Yeah.
And so I re-recorded the whole thing. I pulled a Taylor Swift, and I just put it out last year. And it debuted at #2 on the iTunes album chart,
Yeah.
which behind Taylor Swift, which was amazing. Although, nobody seems to care because it was, iTunes, and it was just whatever. I was like,
cares.
but I'm like, if I'm #2 and I have like a cult following, I'm like, how many albums are actually sell? Like, that's
Right.
wild that
Right.
I
It's
was
a
#2.
whole different music business
Yeah.
now.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, it is.
is.
It really is. And you're also recording and
Yeah, I
singing
just
now.
feel like the rules are non-existent anymore. Whether you're doing independently or with a small label or with a major label. Like, I literally thought, I remember when I moved to New York City right before 9/11 for a record deal, and then 9/11 happened and that all went away. But I remember my rep at ASCAP, who will remain nameless. I'm at BMI now, thankfully. But she told me until my record came out, I needed to stay 23.
Oh,
It was
Really?
just, oh
God.
yeah. I was 23, and you
wow.
need to stay 23 until your record
Wow.
comes out. And so I remember
Wow.
on my 25th birthday, I went to see Rent, which was the first time I'd gone to an actual Broadway performance, and walking through Times Square sobbing because I didn't have a record deal, and I was 25, and it was over for me. Like, really, and fully believing that lie. Like, I bought that lie.
Yeah.
I really did. And then in 2006, I was back. I was working in a hair salon. Ended up being a celebrity stylist, and I was before I was a songwriter. And then again when I got dropped from my deals. But
he's also great at doing hair.
Yeah.
I bet.
He's great at doing hair.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But then I ended up getting offered another record deal, and they threw me this massive party in 2006. And then I go up with my mom. They flew my mom into town, and my best
Wow.
friends are popping bottles of Dom. It's a whole thing. Shane's going to be the new George Michael and do Blue Eyed Soul or whatever. And I go to the office, and the label head was like, "Oh, I got fired."
No.
And the label's up for sale, and he's like, "So, Shane, you should just go write it. You could stay here and make this record, but it may never come out." Or imagine sitting with my mom too. It sucked. She's thinking I'm about to have this big moment that she's getting
Wait,
to
and
witness
she's in the room?
and with me. And she
Oh,
goes, he's like,
wow.
"You're such an amazing songwriter. Go write hit songs and then come back to this." And I thought at that moment, I was like, I really thought this was my sign. I can't. Maybe I'm just not that great of a singer. Maybe I'm just not supposed to be an artist.
God.
Even though I've had 2 record deals, but you get in your head.
Yeah.
And
By the
and
way,
then-
everybody does. I mean, the
Totally,
most
everybody
successful
does.
of our clients, I mean, they're literally one thought away of eating, top ramen on somebody's couch.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Totally. And so I decided, you know what, I hear you, and I'm gonna focus on writing songs. And then literally people started recording my music, and then I had my first #1. Like my first song went to number 58 on the country
Which
chart.
one was that?
It was called Low for Sarah Evans, and it was in a movie for Billy Graham, a Billy Graham biopic, which ironically Armie Hammer played Billy Graham.
It was good.
Yeah, and so they made the video. It went to radio, and it was a whole thing. And then Sarah debuted it on the Opry, and I went there to see her do it on the Opry. And what's really funny about this is all these years later, I just had my Grand Ole Opry debut at the end of February with Sarah Evans having a full circle
That's
moment,
crazy.
singing on the Grand Ole Opry, my own
I
song
love
as a
that.
duet with her.
Yeah.
And I was her hairdresser.
I love this. These
When I
full
started
circle
out.
moments are crazy.
It's
you know,
amazing.
I was Joan Jett's opening act 37 years
No
ago.
way.
And now I'm her lawyer.
Come on.
I love
Like, that's
that.
insane.
Oh, I'm obsessed
That's a
with
full
her.
circle, full
That's
ride.
a full
Wow.
Wow, I love that.
That's amazing.
full circle.
How cool.
I love people don't really understand how small the music business is.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
wait,
who
wait,
the
wait,
fuck
wait.
would want to
Yeah.
be in it?
Right, right. No, to know what we know and still want to do it. That's
Yeah.
how you
Right.
know it's your purpose, it's your passion.
Right.
Yeah.
If you still want
You
That's
gotta
right.
love it. You gotta love
Because
it.
all of the rejection and the heartache and all these things that happen to us, and we still are able to like overcome and stick with it. It's just really incredible.
Wait, I want to hear about
That's
your
what
opening
I'm-
act.
that's
Can you
exactly
tell us
where
more
I'm
about
like-
that?
I
Circle back.
was.
What was it called? Were you a solo artist or was it a band?
Well, I was a musician before I was a lawyer.
Yeah.
So, and I was in a band early on. I went to college for music. I have a bachelor's in music. And then I started working for the drummer for Kiss, and they all moved out west, so I decided to come, but he died. He had a brain tumor, Eric Carr. But suddenly I was in, California with a degree in guitar and lots of
What you gonna
job
do with that?
opportunities.
Right, yeah.
So, and I was up in the East Bay with my aunt and uncle. So through one thing after another, like some bad jobs, I ended up going to law school on a whim. And you're
Your
gonna
just in case career.
you're gonna love this because in every band I was in, I was always the business person.
Yeah.
I was always the one dealing with the creepy club promoters. You know what I mean? Like, because you know how shady it is.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so, I mean,
Totally.
it was like death. And I'd be the one like yelling at these people,
Yeah.
So when I was in law school, my study partner says to me, and I was up in the East Bay, she's like, hey, you want to go to the Indigo Girls tonight? I have tickets to the concert pavilion. And I was like, who are the Indigo Girls? She's like, what? So we go, and there's 20,000 of the most manliest women in this arena
Yeah.
with music from heaven.
Yeah.
So I had an epiphany. I said, I'm going to start a lipstick lesbian band.
Amazing.
And I did.
What was it called?
It was called The Irresistible Impulse.
Yes.
And I did that throughout all
Is that a
all of
song?
law school. What?
If that's not a song, it should have been.
Well, it was a defense for insanity when I was in criminal law. I learned about it when I was criminal law. I was like, this is a great band name.
Oh, it's a
love
great
that.
band, but it's also a great song title.
is,
But I
yeah.
did that for a while, and we had a residency while I was in law school, and I used the stage, shocker,
Come on.
to be an activist for
Yeah,
gay
totally.
rights and
Yeah.
social justice.
Thank you.
So I was always kind of in my blood, but
I love that.
yeah, full circle moments, you know. It's so
Wow.
funny because at the Sona Warrior Awards, the Lipstick Lesbian Band of 30 years ago are coming to the awards.
They are?
Yes.
Amazing.
Oh my God. Maybe you should bust it out and do a performance for us,
No.
Tina.
I mean,
Shane.
come on.
Come on.
No, Shane.
I got up there in a top hat
Shane-
last year,
Shane.
no shirt.
Yeah, but you're really talented, okay? I mean, I pivoted to be a business person because I'm like, I'm not going to be able to survive.
You didn't want to eat ramen.
Well, it's no, I didn't want to eat ramen for the rest of my life.
Totally.
But, the one thing that you do learn when you're in the music business is you think, like, you go to college, here I am in college and I'm, like, playing guitar, but then you meet people that are really talented. And it is like it's like magical.
And you want to help.
Yes. magical. I mean, honestly, I always say, I wish I had me when I was a musician.
Yeah.
You know, because
Oh, I wish I had you for most of my career.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
you know, just the advocacy side of it alone, but just not taking, anyway, it's a whole other
No,
thing.
I feel you. And I work with a lot of young artists, and I really love being a mentor.
Yeah.
Like, as I got older, I was like really afraid that I was going to feel like I was over the hill, like everyone was going to throw me away, like Gen Z was going to think I was old and lame and corny. And I love Gen Z.
Yeah.
They're lovely. I've had
Yeah.
nothing but wonderful experiences working
Wow.
with these kids because they really appreciate the music that
They
we
really
made,
do.
you know?
Right.
But I wish that I had a me back in the
Wow.
day, because I didn't have any female role models. I didn't have anybody that I could trust that would tell it like it is.
Yeah.
And so I can be honest with
Yeah.
them and kind of guide them, and I don't want anything.
And you
in
don't
return.
need anything from
I don't
them.
care. I
Isn't
just
that
am like,
great?
I just want to help. I
That's
just like, I care
amazing.
about you, and I want you
See,
to
that's
be okay.
the blessing of
Yep.
us being in the business
Yep.
still. This is what my whole book is about.
Yeah.
Overcoming predisposition obstacles. Every time I had a perceived failure,
Totally.
I look back and it was a massive pit, like, wow, thank God that happened
Yes.
to
It
me.
wasn't a stumbling block, it was a stepping
Right.
stone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Like you yesterday, you pulled the plug on your record deal.
Totally.
You're like, fuck off. We're
No,
done with this.
not for me. This isn't for me. It's like if you don't align with me and my belief
Yeah.
system and where I see myself and how I want to treat people, then that's not going to be the fit. It's not the right fit.
Yeah.
And what a great inspiration for other artists to see that, other musicians.
And you have to know when a
songwriters.
door closes, another one opens.
I
It
know.
really, but you have to be willing to let go
I
of the door
know.
and let it close.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, because we're like,
Yes.
oh God, what if this is the last thing? There's been so many of those for me
Yes.
where I look back now and I'm going, oh my God, thank God I didn't make
Yeah.
that decision. And then there's been times where I'm like, oh God, I made that decision and I went forward knowing in my gut, knowing in my spirit, this is wrong. But I was so desperate because I just didn't want to wait tables anymore. When I lived in New York City, I was
too.
waiting tables, I was doing hair, and I was running karaoke shows. I lived in a 6th floor walk up. I never took the train because people manifested in crazy ways at me on the train. And I rollerblade. I mean, I was working sometimes 22 hours a day, sometimes more than that, and then working at Diner 24 for
Wow.
the night shift, like to pay my rent and to go for my dream. And I also feel like
Wow.
so many of these kids now really want microwave fame, or they think because they're an influencer on a, which
Yeah.
no shade to that, great, go do
Right.
it, right? But they have an issue or feel shame if they have to wait tables or work another job while they're going
Yeah.
for their music dream.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, if I didn't wait tables or do hair or do all
Right.
the things that I had to, I wouldn't have the things and the stories that I
Right.
wrote about, and I
Right.
wouldn't have the experience to connect with human beings.
Right.
I think it's important to struggle.
It really is.
I think it's important as an
100%.
artist to struggle, which is why I'm so grateful that my
100%.
first thing fell apart, because I won the lottery. I was plucked from obscurity. I got a $2 million record deal at 16 years old, moved out here and
Wow.
was like, I'm the best.
Wow.
And like, if all of that had worked out,
You would have been the worst.
I would not be the artist that I am today. I would have been the worst.
Wow.
Absolutely, I would have been the worst.
Wow.
So I think it's important to have a little
I
struggle.
agree with you. You know something interesting? What you just said resonated with me, both of you, because when I first passed the bar and moved down to Los Angeles to be a music lawyer, no one would hire me. I mean, I was gay. I was a woman. I didn't go to the right school.
Right.
Oh, by the way, I have tattoos, huh? I have my bachelor's is in music, not political science. So I couldn't find a job. So I was interning for a lawyer in Century City for free, parking at the mall, so I could get free, 3 hours free. It only cost me $11 a day to go to work. And you know what I did?
What?
I waited tables at Basics Cafe in
Of
West
course you did.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
There you go.
3 days a week.
God bless Basics.
Basics. Do you
Right
know
next to Merrick's.
I know, and you know Shane, it closed. And this is something that you're going to
So
love because
sad.
you're also sober. I just
Yep.
turned 27
I am
years.
too.
Oh, you are too?
Yeah, I just got
Oh,
13.
Girl,
Yeah.
look at us go. That's another blessing of our business.
Yep.
Right? Because that could have killed
You see
all
what
of
you
us.
don't want. You got to know what you don't want to know
Right.
what you do want.
Exactly.
And I always make the joke, I don't have time to go to other meetings. I'm so busy. I don't have time to be an alcoholic.
Exactly.
And I could have easily
Right.
become that.
Right.
And when I gave God my sobriety, even more doors opened. It's like,
Wow.
look at what we're going to do. And you're going to remember all of this.
Yeah.
And you're
Right.
not going to say the wrong thing.
That's right.
Because you've got a loose mouth
Right.
because you've been drinking all night
Yeah.
long, because everybody wants to get drunk in an
Right.
award show or whatever.
Right.
No, it's such a huge
Right.
advantage to be the only sober person in a room full of drunk business
Yep.
people, where you're
It
just
really
like,
is.
I'm gonna remember everything.
And I got,
Everything.
and you know what? I got to, even with having attorneys or whatever, I'm like, if you're hungover and you're negotiating my livelihood,
yeah.
Yes.
I'm not kidding you. I'm
Yes.
like, no more of that. No more of this.
Yes.
Not if you want to drink,
Yes.
fine, but don't be fully hungover
Right.
and leaning over a toilet and then talking to
Yeah.
another attorney about my
Right.
livelihood.
About, like,
Right.
your
You're not an
fate. It's
extension
like-
of me.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
What happened with you when you got sober?
You know, I started really young. I started really young with like hard drugs when I was like 13, 14 years old. I
Wow.
like got into meth. I was a
Wow.
raver. I was like, you know, I was a
Wow.
problem child.
Wow.
And I moved to LA, switched out meth for Coke
Wow.
and thought, oh, I'm doing so much better. And then, you know, when I got dropped from my first record deal, I really spiraled and I really like went deep into my alcoholism, and it was a dark, dark time.
Wow.
And then when I signed,
That's when you were donating clothes to Wasteland
Yeah.
or selling
Yes.
them? Yeah.
And then when I got the opportunity to work with Katie and I got this new publishing deal and everything, I was like, I can't. Not everyone gets a second chance.
Wow.
I'm being given a second chance, and I cannot afford to fuck this up.
Oh, yeah.
That's incredible.
Like, I got to be here for it.
What
And,
happened?
What do you mean?
Like, what happened? You had this realization, but then what happened?
Well, I had been practicing controlled drinking for a few years,
We
where
all
I was
do.
just like, oh, you know, just a glass, just only wine and beer,
Yep.
only on the weekends, only, you know, 2 drink maximum, and it was just taking up so much energy and like
Wild how much
space in
we
my brain.
negotiate, right?
And it got to the point also, I was 28 when I got sober, and it got to the point where I would have just a glass of wine, and then the next morning I would wake up panicked. Like, what did I say? What did I do? And then, you know, when I thought I had it under control and I was like, oh, I'm just like a grown up now. I can drink like an adult.
Responsibly.
And then, you know, you have one night and you're like, oh shit. Like,
Yep.
this is getting worse.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how many months I've made it of, you know, being a good girl. Like,
Yeah.
if the minute I have a drink, like anything could happen.
Wow.
So I got sober. I actually got into being sober through another 12-step program. Because I was in another 12-step program that was like for the friends and loved ones of people who are
Yep.
abusing. And I realized that when they were talking about their people that were alcoholics, that they were talking about me.
Wow.
And it was the best decision I ever made. And no judgment to anybody else who still
No.
wants to drink. Have one for me. That's
Please
great.
have one for me.
Exactly.
Have
love
all of them.
I love being around drunk people, because then I can be uninhibited and you're not going to remember, and it's totally
Right.
fine. No judgment.
Yeah.
But
I
just for
agree.
me, it was like I reached like spiritual bankruptcy and I needed a change. And it
Wow.
was the best decision I ever made.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah.
What happened with you?
I think I started using alcohol to not hear my inner being because I was scared of what it was going to say. Even though I know it's always good news, I think I was self-sabotaging a bit. And I didn't drink until my mid-20s.
Wow.
Right. And so
Really?
I was raised in an alcoholic home. And my dad was a schizophrenic drug addict and led praise and worship.
Oh
Imagine
boy.
what that does.
Wow.
And so
Wow.
I just was like, I could drink or not drink. And in my relationship, it really affected us emotionally. It really affected Eric emotionally. We were spiraling to a really dark place. And during COVID, we didn't drink for like 8 months. Everybody was drunk and we were sober, and we just decided not to. And then one night we had some people, when they let us out the house, we had some people over, and he decided to have a glass of wine, and a friend of ours was having a martini. I was like, oh, I think I'll have a martini. And then there it was again. We were just drinking every day. You don't even realize you're drinking every day. In Nashville, it's such the social thing to
Right.
do.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
It's easier to not drink in LA, I think.
Really?
than it is
Oh,
in
yeah.
the Deep South. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's other things here. Everybody's on an edible. You know, you can't go to the studio without walking through a wall of weed. But I just, it was two years ago. He stopped January 1st. 2 years ago, I stopped January 9th. And
That's
I
amazing.
just decided, at first I was doing it for him because I was like, it'll just be easier. He's like, one night he noticed, like a few weeks in after I'd come back from California, and we were at our place at the beach, and he's like, are you not going to have a glass of wine or anything? I'm like, oh no. He's like, please don't tell me you're doing this for me. I'm like, I am, but I'm also doing this for me.
Yes.
It's just going to be easier if you're trying not to drink. If I don't drink, and I don't care. And so now here we are, you know, 2.5 years later almost.
That's
and
great.
feel amazing.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't trade it for anything. Going to an award show and being completely sober and seeing other people act a fool or not pay attention to the talented songwriters who are on stage at the BMI Awards getting their first award and everybody's drunk and talking over them. They just can't wait to get their free cocktail at the bar. I don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
Never wanted to be that person. And I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't be doing the things that I'm doing now if I was still drinking.
Wow.
Because I just know that by giving that sobriety to myself and giving it up, you know, to God, we have partnered, and now I'm unstoppable, and I'm able to say yes to the things that I want to do, and I'm learning that, you know, me saying no to things might make someone mad, but it just means that this change it has to happen for me. It's okay to say no, I don't want to do that, and I'm sorry that it upsets you, but I have to do this for me. I'm going to choose me and my joy and my happiness because I'm here to expand creation through my creativity and use my imagination. And when I have a clear mind, there is nothing I can't be, do, or have.
Wow.
You know? Yeah. And for me, as the little gay kid, like we didn't have out artists. Like George Michael wasn't out when I was a kid. Elton John was barely out.
I took
when
him
I was
to an
a kid.
AA meeting. George
Really?
Michael.
Wow. But like there wasn't representation for me at all. So I'm like, if not me, then who? If not now, when? And there is now. But I'm just a normal old Southern country boy who loves pop songs and country songs and Jesus, and I want to sing about it and share it with folks. You know, I love Jesus, but I cuss a little, and I just want to give the gift that's been given to me and help inspire other kids and be like, if he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And especially at this age now.
I love this. You know, the greatest thing about the Sona Warrior Awards this year is we're honoring Girls Make Beats.
Oh, amazing.
So that's going to be amazing. So, you know,
awesome.
talk about mentoring people. I can't wait to drag these girls around the whole room and introduce them
their
to all
heroes.
these creators.
Yes.
You know, also Chaperone, who is such, you know, an advocate for
Already iconic.
health insurance, and you know, like this is going to be really great because
Truly using a platform for the good.
yes, using the platform for the good, and you know, Sona's very involved in like all these legislative initiatives. So, you know, it's just going to be a really great award show. I'm so excited about
I'm
it.
so
For
excited.
songwriters, creators, for
Yeah.
creators, like
Yeah.
out here doing the hard work. Telling the
And
truth.
we have Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
Yes.
You know,
I
Again.
just I interpolated kind of one of their songs after I gave them an award last year.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I didn't realize because I had like a sample and we replayed it for one of my songs and I was like, oh my God, I looked up who did it and I was like, it was them. And so now,
Wow.
so I like kind of have a song with them.
Did they know this? Yeah. Okay, so you talked about it. That's so cool. I love that.
That was encouraging too, because you know that was the year that we sang "I'll Be There for You," the theme for the Friends.
Oh my God, and it was
show.
like the day.
And
Oh,
the
yeah, that
day
was funny.
Matthew Perry died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And last minute we changed it into a ballad
Yeah.
Yep.
because we're like, we can't come out here bebopping to
I
"I'll Be
know.
There for You."
But that was great.
And Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, like they started following me on social media, and they're like, "You have to put that song out just like that." It was amazing, and I was like, "Oh my God,
It
They're
really-
such
happening?"
great guys.
They
Such
really
great
are.
guys.
They really are.
So great.
Like I didn't know I was a super fan until
Yeah.
I started going, and I was like,
A deep
"Oh my
dive.
God! All of the songs that I
Yeah.
loved growing
That
up
shaped
are
your
all the same
childhood.
people."
You
yeah.
know
Absolutely.
what's interesting with them is that they're, for all these years that I've interacted with them, they are the kindest
The kindest.
Yeah.
men. And I got to tell you, when I first opened my own practice, I had to deal with a lot of not kind people. I mean, dismissive. Okay? I mean, I'd be on conference calls with lawyers and they'd be like, well, where are you from again? I go, well, I opened my own firm. Yeah, anyway, well, this is the way we do it, blah, 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 you know. And I was able to go back to some of these lawyers who were very powerful back in the day. And now we're friends, and I was able to tell them like certain things that they did that was very degenerating, and it really had a profound effect on them, you know, as far as like emotionally.
Yeah.
And
for you.
I see them now, and they go. One goes, "It breaks my heart every time. I just love you, Dina. I just love you." But you know, like helping people is my biggest passion now. I mean, look at the three of us.
Thriving.
Look at us.
Thriving.
Sober, still in the music industry,
Still standing.
living our dream, giving back.
Yep.
I mean, you two give back so much. I love that.
Thank you.
You know?
There was a little girl she's 25 now, but when she was 12, I started working with her because I thought she was going to be a great singer and songwriter. And I taught her, you know, my things that I know about songwriting. You have to have the raw talent, clearly, to be able to do it. And she just won Texas Songwriter, and Liz
Wow.
Rose and Lori McKenna, legends,
Wow.
chose her.
No way.
And now all
Wow.
of Nashville's talking about her.
Oh, I
That's
love that.
incredible.
I
And
love
listen,
that.
she came to Nashville right out of high school, and she just wasn't quite ready. She wasn't ready.
Wow.
She was scared and wasn't ready to apply herself. Her name is Abby Kapler, and she is one of the most talented little
Wow.
singer-songwriters there is. And I've been writing with her, and we just had a song come out on this artist, Jenna Davis, who signed to Shane McAnally's label, Smack,
Oh, yeah.
which they let songwriters participate in the...
yeah. Sound recording?
That's how it
Wow.
should be.
So
Wow.
we just had a song come out on Jenna Davis, who is Megan in the movie Megan.
Oh,
She's
yes,
the voice of the
I
doll.
love it.
And it was a song that Abby and I wrote when she was 15 years old, and now
Wow.
she's 25, and now it's out.
Wow.
Yeah.
that.
So
I love that
And that's the other
story.
thing is reminding artists and songwriters out there, don't give up on your songs.
Yeah, don't give
Sometimes
up.
the bones are good. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it needs a new demo, or maybe it needs to be a guitar vocal or a piano
Mm.
vocal, but sometimes the demo holds up. You might have been a little ahead of the time.
Mm.
You know, I just had a song recorded by Billy Currington, which has been a huge dream of mine because I love his voice, a country artist. That's 15 years old.
Wow.
Like I'm getting 20-year-old songs cut.
Well, I mean, the whole album I just put out is 10 years old.
Exactly. And all those songs stand
Right.
up.
I mean, yeah, you try to write. I mean, I always try to write an evergreen song.
Yeah, totally.
I've never really been like a trend follower. Like,
Right.
I feel like that's more
Sweetie,
of a,
you're a trendsetter.
well, thank you.
Trendsetter.
But I feel like
Yes,
that's
you
more
are.
of like the production side of things. But like, if the bones of the song are evergreen, then it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I would get frustrated with people being like, "Those songs are old," and I'm like, "Yeah, but they're good.
Mm.
Yeah, but they're
still
good. They
You
still
know what else
stand
is
up.
old? Thriller.
Yep.
Mm,
Still
thank
good.
you.
And guess who's still
Thank
listening
you.
to it?
Thank you. Let me ask each of you,
Okay.
if there was one person you could each have dinner with, who would that be?
Mine is not going to be. Go ahead.
Dolly Parton
Wow.
or Cher.
Ooh.
One of the two.
Do they have to be alive?
Cher.
I
She's
think.
great.
Yeah, I love her.
I love her.
I think that what the two of them have in common that I strive to have is the way that they have so gracefully been successful.
Mhm.
There's no ego.
Mm.
There's confidence.
Very
and there's
much.
kindness.
Yep.
And they
Kindness.
they see value
Yep.
in everyone.
Yes.
And that's really how I feel in my own being. And every time I write a song, I think about like, who can I help with this?
Mm-hmm. Set free.
I
And,
love that.
and so I feel like that
Mm.
they're kind of my
Wow.
idols, my spirit animals.
Shane.
This is going to sound so out of left field. Viola Davis.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I read her book and I thought to myself, if she can make it,
Mm.
having struggled through everything that she struggled through,
Mm.
I just think every creative person, every creator should have to read Viola Davis's autobiography
Mm.
and listen to it and read it. I've listened and read it 3 times.
She did an Instagram post that was like a bunch of quotes, like a carousel.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at it, I saved it, and I go back to it all the time. Where I'm just like, this shit hit me. This is like really
Like
hit me.
it just, I've never read a story of anyone who wanted her dream as bad as she did and everything that she had to overcome. Like she grew up in a house where there were rats in her bed that were chewing on their hair
Wow.
and no heat in an abusive situation. And she got-affested everything she wanted to happen and
Wow.
taking the train and taking the bus and doing everything she had to do to get, you know, she's educated, she's beautiful, she's powerful, she's black, she's all the things. I wish I was.
She's amazing. And she was fabulous
She's
in
a
The
woman.
Lion
She's
King.
fabulous. And now
Yeah.
she's got, you know, a wax
Yeah.
version of her at Madame Tussauds, which
Yeah.
is insane. But yeah, Viola
Yeah.
Davis and of course George Michael
Mm-hmm.
of music. You know, I do want to one day sit down and tell Mariah Carey that if she didn't exist, I wouldn't.
Mm.
Like, I wouldn't have been inspired to be a songwriter.
Well, we got to get you that opportunity.
Right? Ugh,
Who would
poor-
you? Who would you? Have
Who would
to narrate?
you?
My mother.
Oh,
She passed away in 2022.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know, one of the greatest things about being sober is my boys have never seen me drink or do crystal meth or
Good.
do cocaine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. You heard it here on the Stiletto Room. Such a great episode with these two stars, Bonnie McKee,
Love you,
Shane
man.
Stevens. Make sure that you come to the Sona Warrior Awards October 12th at the Skirball Museum, 5 p.m. It's going to be amazing.
there will be lots of outfit changes.
Lots of outfit changes. These two are stars, and it's very funny. They could just do it without anything else happening at the awards, and
thank
I'd
you.
still come.
Thank you.
Anyway, tell the audience and our viewers how to find you guys. What's your social media?
It's just my name at Bonnie McKee across all socials. So come say hi.
And I'm at Shane Stevens Music across all the socials. And our music's up on Spotify and everywhere else you can listen to it.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Peace.
My stilettos.